Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. I'm hoping this is going to be a big treat. Final beer of the evening for me. This is Community Beer Company. These guys are down in Texas. This is their barrel-aged version of their Legion. And they make the regular version too. This is the barrel-aged version that Brandon C. down in Texas has sent me. He has sent me some other community beers. Some of their stuff is kind of hit and miss. The bigger beers usually are pretty big and bold and tasty. Some of the other stuff's kind of transitional. He has sent me several different versions or several different beers from these guys this time. I picked this one out of the fridge for the final beer of the evening. Today, for me, today is the 12th of February, and he put a little sticky note on the side, said batch number 7, 2017. Bottle is coded 1025 of 17, gold crown barrels, and Jamaican rum. And this one does say it's 11.6%. That's what Beer Advocate has. IBUs are 70, and it says best served here on the label at 52 degrees. Very nice label, nice gold color. It says this edition of our barrel-aged series showcases Legion, our Russian Imperial Stout, aged in some of the finest hand-selected barrels available. Several months of work resulted in a beautiful marriage of beer, barrel, and spirit. Distinct flavors of vanilla, coconut, and toffee elegantly mingle with the roasty, chocolatey deliciousness of Legion. So, like I said, I'm hoping this is going to be a big, tasty treat. We've got the ABV, we've got the date, and we've got the IBUs. I don't think there's anything else we need to talk about. And it's got a big description here. I just read it off the bottle here, so we're not going to get into that. So it is time. Let's get it on. Get the cap off of this bad boy. Nice hiss, a little bit of smoke. And while I pour this, I will tell you, food pairings, it says here, General Chocolate Dessert Digestive. Glass-fired pint, becker, non-tumbler snifter. I got my favorite tulip glass today, guys. It says here can be cellared for long periods of time. I'm not aware of any coffee or anything that's been used in the brewing process, so I can't think of a reason why you could not cellar it. Didn't pour very much of a head with that pour. It is pitch black, guys. I'm not getting any light at all. Looks like a nice Imperial Stout. Let's get it to the nose. Rich roasted malt. Slight hint of some oak woodiness from the barrels. A little bit of bourbon. I'm getting a little bit of smokiness too. It smells very nice. The bourbon is not off the chain. I don't know how long they left it in the barrels and whether they used several different barrels like it says here and they blended it together. It smells very nice. I was expecting a little bit more bourbon on the nose than what I'm getting, or rum. It does smell very pleasant, so let's dive in and see what we have. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Brandon. Wow, very nice taste. The rum and the bourbon barrels are mixing together. Very pleasant. A little bit of alcohol on the taste, not much. Very well done for a beer of this magnitude, 11.6%. Very pleasant. Giving some black molasses. Slight hint of some bittersweet chocolate, but it is very slight. Has a nice sweetness to the back end. For 70 IBUs, it doesn't taste like that. Very nice malt hop balance on this beer. Doesn't seem to be too bitter on the back end. I'm pleasantly surprised. Like I said, I was hoping for a little bit more bourbon. When I see something that's bourbon barrel aged, I want to get that. I want to get it big time usually. A lot of people, if I'd have had this beer 8 or 9, 10 years ago, it would have probably blown my palate out of my mouth. But right now, with all the beers that I've had, when I see bourbon barrel aged or rum barrels, I'm usually expecting big notes of that. And this one doesn't seem to be over the top on either one of those. It's there, but blended very nicely. So it's right out of the fridge, 40 degrees. Let me sip on this one for a while and let some of these notes come out, because when you have a beer of this magnitude and this style that's been done in the barrels like this, and I'm thinking, and from what I'm seeing and reading, that they blended 2 different barrels together on this. Some of those notes will come out as it warms up, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to let it warm up, sip on it. Might go out on the deck, fire up the stogie, and sip on it and see what we end up with. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Been sipping on it for a while now. Tasty beer. I just wish the bourbon rum notes were a little more prominent than what they are, but that's probably where they were wanting this beer to be. They didn't want the bourbon or the rum overpowering everything else. Very enjoyable. I would probably buy this beer here if it was available here, if it wasn't too pricey. From what I'm reading, this is a pricey 4-pack to buy, around $17, $18, depending on where you buy it. But you got to realize the barrel-aged versions of beers, or especially if it's a blended beer from bourbon barrels and rum barrels, and they're putting them together, all that beer takes up space at the brewery and setting in the barrels for however long they let it set. I just wish it had a little bit more bourbon notes or rum notes in the aroma and in the taste than what I'm getting, but like I said, it's probably where they wanted it to be. Final chug. A very delicious beer, guys. I will not take anything away from this. This is a very nice blended beer. Very enjoyable, a great final beer of the evening, a nice dessert beer, if you will. Would go very well with some chocolate dishes, brownies, chocolate pie, chocolate cake, anything with chocolate, it would go well with. Or a big bold dinner, steak, or some kind of strong meat dish. I like this. I would buy this beer probably if I could get it here. Very enjoyable, guys. I'm on the fence between a B+ and an A-. I'm going to give this the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give it the A- scale, 90 from me, guys. That's where I'm going to put this beer. I did enjoy it. Very tasty. Thanks again, Brandon. Very tasty beer. Very nice. Over to Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate has it at 4.35. That's in their A- range also. Over to Untapped. Untapped has it at 4.24. That's borderline between their A- and their A beer. So very tasty beer, guys. It is very enjoyable beer. They've done a really good job on this one. But like I said, my personal opinion, I'd like to see a little bit more of the bourbon notes or the rum notes or a combination of both. Which this is probably where they want it to be. They didn't want it to overpower everything else in the beer. So that's where it is, and that's where I'm going to leave it. It's an A- beer, guys, and it's A- basically from everybody around, Untapped, borderline to the A category. So, and I wouldn't argue with that. And if you say, "Oh my God, it's a 10 beer, the best thing I ever tasted," I would not argue with that. It is pretty good. If I'd have had this beer 8 or 9 years ago, it would have probably been a 10 to me. But with some of the other stuff that I've tasted over the years, not quite to that category right now. Where my palate is, your palate, it may be the best thing you've ever tasted. That's why I say beer tastes are very subjective, guys. If I say it's this grade or that grade, you may think different depending on where your palate is. So don't always go by what any beer reviewer, including myself, says. Try it for yourself. You may think it's the best thing you ever had. And what I may like, you may dislike, and vice versa. So don't let any beer reviewer say it. "Oh, I think it's this," and you disagree. I mean, it is your prerogative to disagree. So try it for yourself. Especially if you can buy one of them and try it. If you like it, buy more. So that's where I'm going to put it, guys. If you've had this one from Community Beer Company, this is the Barrel Aged Legion. Let me know what you think. Till we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.